Hi Teris, this is Miss Smith, your English 165 online instructor for summer 2017. And the purpose of this video is for me to offer you feedback on the key sections that you submitted of the semi-formal report. And so in this review, I'm looking for specific things. I'm looking for structure of your sections, organization of your sections, and any issues that could pose plagiarism problems. I'm not looking as closely at content or at grammar. Okay, and so if you have questions about anything that I say in this video, please, by all means, contact me. Stop by my office. You know where my office is. Stop by my office, and we can discuss it and hopefully get some clarification on it. Okay? All right. And so I asked for 4 sections: your abstract, your introduction, your discussion section, and your references section. So let's just start with the major headings, because remember, we want to be consistent with our major headings. That adds to or can take away from our credibility. Okay? And so here, this first major heading that says abstract, you have it as a Calibri, size 20. It's not in any bold or italic size, and it's centered. Okay, so every single major heading in your report should be the same exact way. It should be Calibri 20 centered, okay, with no additional style added to it. So let's look. Introduction is good. Okay, same thing. Now, visual of work context. This looks like a major heading, but it's not, should not be a major heading. So we're going to come back to that in just a little bit. Now, your discussion section, major heading. This is a Calibri 20 centered, but do you see it's in bold style? That is different from what you previously had with your abstract and your introduction. So you need to change one or the other. Either all of your major headings are going to be bold, or all of them are not going to be bold, because you want to be consistent throughout your report. Okay? And references you have in bold style. Okay, so you don't have consistency right now. You want to make sure you change it so that they all are consistent. Okay? Your abstract, you're not writing a whole lot. Your paragraphs are really thin. I would like to see you include a little bit more text with these paragraphs, but it does look like your paragraphs are the right size, which is 12, 11, or 12 point. That's fine. Um, especially this body paragraph, I want you to tell me more about what you did in compiling this report. Give me a couple more sentences on that. And here, for your conclusion paragraph, I think you should remove, and I am looking at this because of what I'm seeing here. You want to begin this paragraph with "I recommend," with the words "I recommend," because you don't want to risk not getting full credit for this section because your last paragraph isn't correct. Okay, so that last paragraph is really, really important to the abstract, because that's where you're going to tell your reader what your basic recommendations are for someone who's interested in a career in your contact person's field. Okay, and so begin this last paragraph with "I recommend." Tell us what the recommendations are, just in a summary, because you do have a separate recommendation section. So this abstract, everything here, is a summary, okay, for your reader. And so let me know if you have questions about that. So when we move on to the introduction, I'm seeing a lot of space here that's unexplained, right? We don't need this much space. And so what we want to do is take that extra space away. And again, I'm seeing very, very, very thin paragraphs. And I feel like you can write more. This should say purpose statement. This should say industry background. So you want to make sure those headings match what I've asked for. And again, remove some of this excess space that's here. Okay, make sure your spacing is correct, because this is a good bit of space here. You can move that up a little bit closer. Now, I do see you have an in-text citation for Daniels. Your period should go at the end of the in-text citation. And so the in-text citation ends the sentence. And so always make sure that your period is at the end of the in-text citation. Just go back through your report and make sure you fix all of those instances. Okay? Um, Now I see that for this industry background that you have used as your in-text citation Daniels, who is your contact person. In this section, I want you to pull information from ONET. So go to ONET and look at the wealth of information that they give you about this particular industry. Pick and choose what you want, but put it in your own words into a nice thick paragraph or two and give me background on that industry. So your in-text citation would be an ONET in-text citation. However the full citation begins will be your in-text citation. Okay? But the information in the section would come from ONET. So let me say that again. In this industry background section, I want your information to come from your ONET search of your contact person's career field. Okay? And you should have then an in-text citation that is based on your ONET search. And so however your full citation appears on your references page for your ONET information, that beginning of that full citation should be what your in-text citation is here under your industry background. Okay, you and I talked about in-text citation and full citation in my office the other day. Let me know if you have additional questions about that, but I would suggest that you also go back and review the video that I gave you before about full citations and in-text citations. Okay? All right. Now, I want for you to get your purpose statement, your industry background, and your graphic on one page. All of that will make up your introduction. Okay? And so you don't need 2 pages for that. You need 1 page for that. And I'd mentioned that we would come back to this heading because it's too big. It's competing with your major heading. So I would suggest not having this at a size 20. I would suggest making it a smaller size. Okay? And that way it's not competing with the major heading of your section. Okay? Now here you do have an in-text citation, it seems, but you're missing the word source. Remember, we talked about that with the visuals assignment. And so you want to put source, and then you want to put the in-text citation. So whenever I look for this in-text citation on your references page, the full citation should begin the same exact way. So we'll come back and we will take a look at that just to make sure that that's correct. We'll also highlight Daniels to make sure Daniels is on your references page. Okay, so let's just keep moving. Your discussion section. And so I see that you have Shadow Teresa Daniels. Again, you need to add way more information. I shouldn't have a sentence or two. I should have paragraphs underneath each of these. And so do not just use what I gave you in terms of the outline. That's not why I gave it to you, for you to just do that minimum. I want you to use that as a guide, but then I want you to add to it. So you did the job shadow. So I want you to take me to your job shadow. In other words, I want you to tell me what you saw, what you experienced, what you heard, what your contact person did, what you observed them, in their daily job responsibility, what you observed them doing. You can put all of that into this discussion section, which should be at least 2 pages. And we talked about this in my office the other day. For this level of a college course, asking for 2 pages is not a lot. So that is exactly what I expect. So make sure that you're getting to that 2 pages at the very minimum. Another thing I would say is that your indentations are way too far over. So you want to make sure that you either take them away completely or you just have a few spaces, maybe about 4 spaces over for an indented paragraph. Okay? And so right now you have about 1 page or actually a little bit less than 1 page if we remove the spacing and everything for your discussion section. So you need a whole lot more information there for your semi-formal report. Okay, so make sure you go back and work on that. Your references section. I see Daniels and I see this ONET citation. Okay, so that makes me happy because based on the in-text citations that you have in your report, you do have the right full citations on your references page. But here is the problem. The problem is you only have 2 full citations and you need 3. So go back to the overview document that I gave you. You need a third source in your report, and that should be a secondary source from something related to your contact person's career field. It could be their company website, it could be an article about their line of work, but you need that third source there. Okay, and so hopefully this is helpful. um, of course, you can feel free to watch the video again and again if that would help clarify anything. And if you have questions for me, please let me know, and I would be happy to help clarify it for you. Remember, our final draft of the semi-formal report is due by Wednesday night at 11:55 p.m. on July 19th. Okay, and that's everything, Teris. That's all 10 to 12 pages from beginning to end. Okay, so make sure that you are prepared to submit that. Okay, thanks so much, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Bye-bye.